Hi, this is Elena, and I'm just about to give you a short forecast about upcoming new moon that will take place on June the 4th. Now, this new moon is quite remarkable. It will be happening in Taurus, and together with the sun, they will share the same degree, obviously the same sign, and they will be in the same house. Now, two of them, the sun and the moon, will be joined by quite powerful and beautiful Venus. Venus rules Taurus, so it brings lots of love and affection and also beauty in the alignment. However, it will be negated a bit by the fact that the moon and the sun, they're now opposed by retrograde Saturn and retrograde Mars, that both of them are in Scorpio. This energy brings a little bit of tension, sometimes more than a little bit, so stay put. Just remember, anger issues, depression issues can come up to the surface. Watch out for your friends and family members, as they may be subjected to those energies as well, and you may become a victim of that. Just be aware, practice harmony and peace, and remember that communication with the self specifically is important during this time. Now, it's not really recommended to travel or do business 5 days before the new moon. If you happen to have such plans, there is nothing to be scared about. Just again, be cautious. If you can postpone it, that's great. If not, just have good intentions and ask for the universe to help you do those things, be it business, communications, or travel, with ease and grace, and everything is going to be great. Now, we're coming out of Mercury retrograde period. Mercury went direct on May 22nd. It gives another week or so of strange communication issues. Perhaps you dealt with such situations already at your workplace or in the family, when we just don't understand sometimes each other. We don't understand the mood, the motives, or intentions, and that could have created some tension as well. Now we're coming out of that period. It should be getting better. However, Saturn and Mars retrograde will still affect us for another several months. Just stay put. Make sure that you practice meditation, that you practice some quiet time with the self, maybe reading a nice book. We are now having wonderful weather. It could be even hot for May, but just enjoy it. It's great timing. Now, just to remind you, the timing that we're in at the moment, they could be quite tense. That's okay. That's how it should be, and that's how we learn, and that's how we progress. So remember that everything is a lesson. Everything here is to teach us something. If you can catch yourself in the mood that can be described less than graceful, just try to get back to your inner center, to your heart, and remember that those that are around you, they do love you. Again, Venus in Taurus will remind us, and of course, as I said, the sun and the moon together in Taurus. It's quite great time to reconsider our values and to reconsider where our priorities are, be it material or be it spiritual. Now for Toronto, quite interesting. It will happen at 11 o'clock at night, and in that time, the new moon will take place in the 6th house. And 6th house is responsible for our day-to-day or everyday activities, our mundane. Now, tension that we're getting from Mars in Scorpio, and of course from the Saturn in Scorpio, that is quite karmic energy. That sends us hello from the 12th house of spirituality. So what we might deal here in Toronto is working out the balance between spiritual and mundane, between everyday work, family issues. Not that much family as what we do, as our daily activities. and our longing for something greater, something bigger. So that's okay if you do come across a thought or two that you might want to go drop everything and go to the cave or go climb Everest. You may consider doing it. It's a great time for such new projects. Moon and the Sun and Venus, all three of them will be in beautiful nakshatra Rohini. Rohini is ruled by the moon, so all three of them again are ruled by the moon, so the moon is quite powerful. It is in a sign of exaltation. And Rohini is the favorite solar station, or lunar station or nakshatra of the moon. It reminds us of creation. The lord of that nakshatra is Brahma himself, and again, anything to do with creation, animal kingdom, plant kingdom, trees, gardening, whatever you can think of in terms of creation and creative beings, that's all great time to consider it and have your own projects about it. It could be anything, again, from the gardening, from building a house, preferably if it's something of tall structure, as this nakshatra rules specifically tall structures. It's a great time for any auspicious work. If you have plans for that, just do it. This is the time, just get up and do it. There will be a better timing later on in the year. This year is quite turbulent as it is. If you haven't noticed, however, some good things are happening and are being brought into our lives. And if life is taking turn for worse, remember, this is just a lesson, and this is just something to remind you to be with yourself, to be inside of yourself, and to get in touch with yourself and have the relationship with yourself, and of course with the Creator. We have different aspects of that. It's all great and wonderful. Just remember, any auspicious timing 5 days before the new moon is not that great. Also the days when the sun changes the signs. Well, in June it's going to happen on, let me tell you exactly when it's going to happen. It will, the sun will enter Gemini on June the 12th, so the day before, during and after. Should take some precautions, not to exercise too much aggression or even assertiveness. Just again, stay put. If you have a chance to go outside in the nature, spend some time in nature, that would be great. Remember, of course, of your family members and your friends. They are something to rely on during this time as well. What else? It's quite interesting for Moscow. In Moscow, this new moon will take place on June the 5th, 6 o'clock in the morning, and the cross or the alignment of the planets that are forming the cross will be quite karmic for Moscow. Basically, that region of the world is dealing with issues between work and family, so you may feel some tension in this respect. Now, for the West Coast, and I'm talking about California, Los Angeles, the new moon will take place on June the 4th, and the alignment is such that there will be some issues brought up to the surface in terms of relationship. Most probably you will be the ones that are affecting your own relationship, so be aware how you communicate, be aware how you react or respond to any communication, especially with your partners. It not necessarily your life partners, it could be business partners as well. And again, to return to the native town from where I'm shooting this video for Toronto, just make sure that you keep in balance your spiritual and physical, as well as emotional and mental bodies. It's good for everybody. However, for Toronto, we might face a little bit of turbulence in those areas. Other than that, I wish you safe and great new moon with lots of creative projects, and we'll keep in touch. We will be doing this short forecast in the future, so please join us and welcome to the Vedic Alternative Coaching with Elena. Thank you.